Hi, everybody, and welcome back. I'm the Ancient Metaler, and today we're going to do something a little different. I'm doing what I call an intro to metal, and I'm picking different bands that I like from different time periods, different styles of metal, and introducing them to you guys. So I'm going to talk about the band, give you a little bit of history and background of them, um, talk about what they do, their style, and then I'm going to introduce you to two or three, sometimes more, sometimes less songs from their catalog and give you some samples of that so you can see what they're all about. I'll put links in the description to uh, their webpage and their videos and stuff like that as well. So hopefully this doesn't get blocked and we'll be able to do this. First band that we're going to do is called Eluveitie. And so I pulled up their I pulled them up on Wikipedia just so I could tell you what it says here. And it says, oh boy, yeah, I'm ancient, so I need glasses. Whee! That helps. All right, so Eluveitie is a Swiss folk metal band from Winterthur, Zurich, founded in 2002 by Kriegel Glanzmann. Project's first demo, Ven, was released in 2003. Ven was a studio project of Glanzmann's, but its success led to the recruitment of a full band. The band then released a full-length album, Spirit, in June of 2006. In November 2007, Eluveitie was signed by Nuclear Blast, and the group rose to fame following the release of their first major label album, Slania, in February of 2008. The album peaked at number 35 in the Swiss charts and number 72 in the German charts. The band's style incorporates characteristics of melodic death metal combined with the melodies of traditional Celtic music. They use traditional European instruments, including the hurdy-gurdy, which I'll put a picture of a hurdy-gurdy up so you can see what that is. It's an instrument where uh, it, it, it's a stringed instrument that you use a crank to turn a wheel that rubs against the strings and makes a vibration. And then you have levers or keys that you press to change the tone. It's really, and it has a very distinctive sound. So I'll show you a picture of that. Let's see, including the hurdy-gurdy, bagpipes, amidst guitars and both clean and harsh vocals. Their lyrics include references to Celtic mythology, particularly Celtic Gaul. The lyrics are often in a reconstructed form of the extinct ancient language Gaulish. The name of the band comes from graffiti on a vessel from Mantua circa 300 BC. The inscription in Etruscan letters reads Eluveitie, which has been interpreted as the Etruscan form of the Celtic Helvetios the Helvetian, presumably referring to a man of Helvetian descent living in Mantua. So that's a really brief description of the band. So it's Celtic folk metal. I love Celtic culture, I love Celtic folk music, and I love metal, and the two things combined are great. So I discovered this band by accident. A buddy of mine and I went to a concert in Dallas, Texas to see several different bands that were playing. The only one that I recognized the name of was the Finnish band Korpiklani, which I didn't know very well. I just knew they had a song called Vodka, and since I like vodka and drinking it, I thought that would be a fun thing for us to go do. So we went to go see Korpiklani, but Korpiklani was the second opening band, and Eluveitie was the closing band. I had never heard of them, never heard a single song from them, and so my buddy and I decided that we were actually going to leave before they came on because the concert had not been that great. Uh, where we were sitting up in the we were sitting upstairs and the audio up there was just horrible. But we said, okay, let's go downstairs and stand in front of the stage a couple rows back and see if the sound quality is better and at least listen to the first song, you know, because we don't know the band. It's probably going to suck. So let's listen to the first song and see how it is. And the first song came on and we were completely blown away and we stayed for the whole show. And now, because of that, Eluveitie is one of my favorite newer metal bands, even though they've been around for 20 years now. So it's not really new. They went through a bunch of different personnel changes. So they had one lineup, which I'll show you some pictures of that lineup, and it featured the person who played the hurdy-gurdy and sang the female vocals was named Anna Murphy. Um, she left the band and several of the other members left at the same time. And some of them went on to form a band called Cellar Darling, which is a really good band if you want to check them out. I'll put a link in the description. And they were replaced by several new musicians, including a new singer named Fabienne, and put out a couple new albums since then. So they've got a new album on the way. So with that being said, let's jump into some of these. Slania. Let's talk a little bit about their album, Slania. Well, I don't need to talk about the album, but one of the songs on that album is called Innis Mona. And Innis Mona is a mythical island where, oops, don't mean to drag that. A mythical island where I think Celtic priests would go to train from childhood. So they would go out to this island, remote island, and become Celtic priests. That's about all I know about it. So the song's called Innis Mona, and it's a tribute to that. So I'm going to start this with something that I think might get me blocked, which is a video clip from the Wacken Open Air Festival, and I'm not going to play much of it because I don't want to deal with the copyright issues on it. So I just wanted you to see the size of the fans, the size of the crowd that's watching this band play at this festival. I think this is it's Open Air 2016. And let's close that down. So you can see that this is the Open Air Festival. I've never been to one, though I would love to go. I think it would be awesome to check out. Sorry, I keep moving stuff around. I'm trying to get me out of the way. There, put me up there. All right, so you can see the giant fan base here. Let's go ahead and hit play and advance this a little bit. So you can hear the Celtic music playing in the background as the camera pans around to this gigantic crowd of people standing there for the stage. So there you see that's the stage of Eluveitie. It's Eluveitie. Eluveitie, but this U is kind of silent, so it's Eluveitie. Yeah, it's a massive band and a massive crowd. Let's see right there. I'm just gonna pull that. Okay, let's just go. And there's the band stepping up. That's the guy that plays the bagpipe. Everybody's excited. All right. That's all I'm going to show of the Wacken Open Air 2016, because, like I said, I don't want this video to get blocked. Stop. That's Kriegel Glansman just coming out on stage. So I'll put a link to this video in the description too, so you can watch it. But let's just jump into their music video for the same song, Innis Mona. There we go. This is clicking in the wrong place. All right. This is Innis Mona. So just to start off a little bit, so you can hear the music has very, very strong Celtic influences. There's a bagpipe playing. There's different kinds of like Irish whistles. I don't see one here being played right now, but I think you can hear it being played. And often Kriegel plays different kinds of whistles. A lot of people think they're flutes, but there's some kind of whistle. And he plays a mandala, which is like a medieval version of a kind of like a mandolin. There's also violins, there's hurdy-gurdies, but there's also traditional metal instruments. And Kriegel tends to sing the harsh vocals, and in this period it was Anna Murphy who sings the clean, angelic vocals. So that was the chorus. It's got a major hook to it. That's what I like about Eluveitie. So yeah, it's dark. Yeah, it's heavy. He's got the growling, harsh vocals, but it's not too extreme for me. I'm a metal guy, but I'm not super into death metal or black metal. I like some of it. I prefer the more melodic kind. And for me, the harsh vocals have to make sense, and they have to fit the music, and they have to fit the style, not just there for the shock value of it. And this does a great job of that. Those are hurdy-gurdy. That's the hurdy-gurdy. I don't want to interrupt any kind of guitar solos because I know I'll get yelled at. So I think there's one coming. Um, just the musicality is off the charts. The musicianship is fantastic. These guys are, and ladies, they're all extremely talented people. And Kriegel is a creative genius. The lyrics to a lot of these songs, one of the songs later we're going to listen to is called Rebirth, and the lyrics to that song are just amazing. And quite, I don't know what's the right word for it. Well, definitely unexpected, but seems out of place with the harshness of the vocals, the softness of the lyrics. There's kind of a juxtaposition. It's a whistle solo. All right, that was Innis Mona, which is kind of like their first big hit song. It's the song that got them really recognized. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that is the song they use as a closer in concert. It's either the closer or it's definitely in the encore. But I think it's the closer. Every time I've ever seen them, I think that's what they ended with. And it's great for that. So that was Innis Mona. The next one we're going to do is still with the old lineup, but it's a completely different style of song. So that's what I wanted to give you, was a taste of different things, so you can see that they're not just a one-trick pony, or they're not just a one-sound pony. They actually have completely different things going on. The next one is called Call of the Mountains. So let's pull that up now. That's the official video for that. I'll put a link to it in the description as well. What can I say? I don't really want to say too much about it. I just want you to enjoy it. I might not interrupt it too much. I may just comment over it as we're going, if you can even hear my voice as we're going. We'll see how it goes. Here it is. This is Call of the Mountains from Eluveitie.
Swords in our hands, against the sea, with our backs to the walls, against distress in the presence of our enemies, against the storms roaring at our faces. Their cry rang out throughout the skies, epic in the flight of the crane, the call of the mountains.
So I've seen them in concert twice, and I've watched concert videos of them, and this is one of the songs that they do in every show. It's kind of their most popular song, and it's more of a pop song. But they always ask the crowd, because they did two versions of this song. They did an English version and a Swiss version, and they always ask the crowd, do you want to hear it in English or do you want to hear it in our language? And always, every place I've ever seen it, the people say, sing it. We want to hear it in Swiss. So they sing it that way, and it's really cool. I don't know anything they're saying. I can't pay attention to it, but yeah, I mean, I can't pay attention to the words, but everybody sings along anyway. So, but this one's in English, so it's much easier to understand.
What's a stir so blatant in a sounding heart? What's that urge that lifted up her longing eyes? What's that ring echoing from the leaden skies? What's that offering sounding from the lightest strings? Her cry rang out in the circling winds of the hills, the outcry of the cranes, the call of the mountains.
All right, that was Call of the Mountains from Eluveitie, and like I said, it's a completely different kind of song than that first one. There's no harsh vocals at all, and it's very melodic, almost to the point of being a pop song, and features a lot of the Celtic instruments. So I think you saw a harp being played by Kriegel. You saw him also playing the mandala, and there's all kinds of other stuff going on that, which is kind of reminds me of when I first saw them. We were watching them at this place called the Gas Monkey, and they have VIP seating, which isn't really VIP seating. You pay like $5 extra or something, and you get to sit upstairs on this little balcony. But there's no stools there. There used to be stools. There's no stools. You have to stand on this like catwalk over the stage, and the audio quality up there was pretty bad. None of the speakers were pointing at us, so you got secondhand sound, and it was like, and especially the audio of the vocals were so toned down that we couldn't hardly hear what the singers were singing up there. But the cool thing was right behind us was a bar, so we could just walk in the bar, and it wasn't crowded, and get drinks and then come back out. But what we didn't realize was that was also the dressing room for the bands. And so we saw these people coming in there and changing clothes right inside the bar. The guys, not the girls. And walking around that. So we got to talk to the band, and we didn't even realize they were the band when we first started talking to them. But then we went back out on the balcony, and we saw them all come out and walk down the stairs and keep walking around and walk around behind the stage and walk out on the stage. We're like, oh, that's the band. And there was like 8 or 9 people in the band. So it's a massive band, huge lot of people. And so that, we really need to support them, because it's hard to split the money that a band makes that many different ways and be profitable. So hopefully you guys will go out and support them by enjoying more of their music. So that was Call of the Mountains. The next one we're going to do is completely different again. It's probably, in my opinion, it's one of their hardest songs. But it's extremely complicated, complex. You get to see solos from just about everybody in the band, and we'll play that one in just a couple of minutes. I'm gonna pause right now and take a break, and then I'll be back to do the last song, which is called Rebirth, and it's off the album Atignatos. All right, let's go ahead and pull up Rebirth. It's the last video we're going to do. And again, this is their official video, and I'll put links to this in the description as well. This is off the album Atignatos, which came out, I want to say 2019. That doesn't sound like it. Something's not right. My other screen started playing. So let's go back where we were. All right, so I think I got it queued up now, and we're ready to start it. So this is Rebirth. Let me tell you a little bit about that before we jump into it. So the album's called Atignatos, and it was the first real big album that they had with the new lineup of the band. There was an album before it, but that one didn't seem to, I don't know, it was like, didn't seem to get much attention or something. And I'm not 100% sure on the history of that. You're better off going to Wikipedia and reading about it. But Atignatos was the first big album that they put out with the new singer and the new lineup. And it's an incredible album from start to finish. It's just an epic album. And the word Atignatos apparently means rebirth. And it's about the rebirth of the band. It's about rebirth spiritually of the people involved, and rebirth of the singer. And so this song talks about the rebirth of whatever, everything, I guess. But pay attention to the lyrics if you can, especially some of the harsh vocals. It's hard to get them. I don't want to put captions up because I think it's too preoccupying when you sit there and see the captions, especially if they're not right. And quite often the captions make mistakes and stuff. So I may pause periodically when certain lyrics come up so I can make sure you got what those lyrics were about. But anyway, that's enough of me. And let's get back to the music. This is Eluveitie Rebirth. And brace yourself. So calm and peaceful. That was one hell of a long scream. So I don't know if you noticed it, but there was two different people playing whistles there. The guy who's bearded with he normally playing the bagpipes was playing a whistle first, and then you see another guy playing a whistle that's much shorter, but you can't quite tell who it was. That was actually Kriegel playing it. He has a holster on the side of his mic stand where he puts the whistle when he's not using it. I think there's two different ones in there. And so he'll be singing, he'll be growling, he'll be playing his mandolin, and then he'll pull out the whistle and do a whistle solo and then put it back in there and go back to playing the mandolin. So it's a lot going on. So I cut it off just before it goes to the chorus. That's a hurdy-gurdy, and she's no longer with the band. I think she left. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. When I saw them this year, I thought Patty Gurdy was playing with them, who's famous for playing the hurdy-gurdy. Not sure if it was Patty Gurdy or not, but I thought her name was something Gurdy. She calls herself that anyway. So it's a wild ass instrument with it. Let me move myself so you can see it. Oops, don't move the video. Move me. There we go. See, she's got a crank handle over here that she's turning around and moving it back and forth to get that kind of jigga 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 sound when she does like this, or it sounds more like almost like an organ when she's just cranking it. A couple things I gotta hit up there. So I don't know if you heard the words, but he's got that harsh growl, right? And the words were "sweet surrender." What? Sweet surrender. We'll go back, but listen to it carefully. Sweet. It's the words don't feel like somebody screaming. It's like what? And then right after that, you'll hear a scream come in. It's like that really deep kind of scream. That's actually the girl. That's Fabienne. So she screams too. So Fabienne is the redhead that replaced Anna Murphy as the lead singer. She's incredibly gorgeous, and she's very petite and very tiny little lady, like an elf with red hair. Absolutely gorgeous and beautiful, 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 beautiful voice. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's a song she sings that's completely a cappella that is amazing live. So let's go back a little bit. Let's go back to here. There. Oh, I didn't go back far enough so you could actually hear those words that I was talking about. Let's go back. Sweet surrender in serenity. Sweet surrender in serenity. I think that's what it says. Right after this solo. That's what with pain, not with distress. Sweet surrender in serenity. Sweet surrender in serenity. Here's Bobby and Scott. Hurdy-gurdy. Listen. Dueling whistle solos. Solo. I am the softly whispered word in the murmuring autumn breeze, is what they said. It was just like, what? How'd you like that? So there's a whistle solo, a second whistle solo, dueling whistle solos, a hurdy-gurdy solo, a guitar solo, a second guitar solo, dueling guitar solos, another hurdy-gurdy solo that's combined with a harmonic with the two guitars, so you have a three-way solo at the same time. Like I said, pretty much everybody gets a solo. It's like Oprah Winfrey handing them out. You get a solo, and you get a solo, and you get a solo, and you get a solo. Yeah, that is definitely one of those songs where they ride them hard and hang them up wet, right? That is in your face, just raw power, but it's not just noise for the sake of noise. It's extremely musical, and goes through so many different progressions. And like I said, everybody gets a solo, practically everybody. Just amazing song. That was Rebirth, and so that kind of ties up the whole introduction to Eluveitie. It's one of my favorite bands, and they have a new album coming out. They've got a couple new songs that they've dropped, which I didn't go into today, but they're really good as well, and kind of continues in the same feel as the album At Ignatus. So I highly recommend that you check them out. I'll make sure I put links to everything down in the description. I hope you like this. Feel free to leave some comments. Let me know what you thought. If you want to hear more of this stuff, like and subscribe to my videos, click the notification bell so that you can be notified when I put stuff out. And feel free to leave comments, positive or negative. I don't mind either one. So that was it, and I'm going to head back to the Dark Abyss now.